Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Tonight I'm going to be going over, hopefully for the last time, this membership saga that's been going on with Phil over the foreign membership purchases and all these member bombs that have been happening now because thanks to OIC and his Nikita sock and his duty sock and the other sock that he had, tipped off to the detractors that they could troll Phil by tipping him memberships that were not worthless as Phil describes them, but because of regional pricing and economic constraints of certain countries, they are given a discount on YouTube. And by using a VPN, you can exploit that discount. So I just want to go over what Phil has done here. I'm going to be using Snorticus Hoganius's video from today. I didn't really know which video to use because there's just so much stuff that's gone on over the last 3 days with this saga that I just thought, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to use today's latest one. Snort Hogan did an excellent clip here, so we're going to use that. Shout out to Snort Hogan. Then we're going to go and we're going to go through the lies. We're going to debunk it. We're going to go through the pricing. Shout out to Ann as well. Ann did a stream on this yesterday. I hung out in that stream for a little bit, and Ann and I spoke yesterday morning, basically in regards to, you know, Apple Store purchases, stuff like that, because that is true. Apple Store does take a cut, so Phil is losing money based on people who purchase it through the Apple Store. But there's actually more to go into. Like, I'm looking at Patreon as well to see if Slayer is scamming through Patreon. Slayer is definitely scamming, like Hate Army. Shout out to Hate. Hate Army did a good write-up on Twitter that Slayer is scamming the membership as well. So we'll just listen to what Phil has to say here. I'm going to be playing some Warzone on the right. I suck at Warzone, so laugh at me all you want. I've been having some fun playing that. So let's get into this.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Hogan. Drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip.
Now, I already told you about the football event. All I want to say is this, all right? Thank you all for being very patient with everything going on right now. It's been a wild month, especially with this trolling in the last week and a half. Right now, matter of factly, you know, my revenue this month is way down, mostly because of this trolling and these fake memberships.
Okay, so we can just talk about that really quick. Phil's revenue isn't down, and let's base it off of one important fact. Phil has a total of 2,150 new memberships. Now, this is what I'm basing it off of, right? We know for a fact that Phil has stated, right? He's got 300 memberships on the React Ack channel. He's got 250 memberships on the Throwback channel that just debuted there on Sunday night. And he's got 1,600 plus on DSP Gaming, okay? So a total of 2,150 memberships. Phil would never have received 2,150 memberships to begin with. And yes, Phil can argue that because these member bombs that went out basically disqualify people from getting the actual member bombs. And that's if Phil is counting. Like, if OIC had come out and said, Phil, I'm going to give you this many member bombs, okay, in advance, that probably wouldn't have happened, right? Very unlikely that Phil would have received this many member bombs. So his revenue isn't down. If Phil's saying his revenue is down, it's probably because people just aren't giving him the money that he thinks he deserves. So revenue being down, I doubt it. January is always a shit month for YouTubers, typically because it's after all the ad revenue is gone, right, because of Christmas season and everything. That's all wiped out. So typically you're going to see a lower revenue as a YouTuber.
Because basically people who normally would become members or renew their existing memberships got gifted a membership that was essentially free. So
it's not free.
I'm out a lot of revenue this month. With the new releases coming out, a great way to help out me and this channel would be to either legitimately become a member, legitimately gift a membership to somebody else, or a super chat, or a super...
Also remember that he is stating his revenue is down because of memberships. And then later on in the video, he's going to state that memberships don't really make him a lot on DSP Gaming, and that memberships basically don't mean jack shit for DSP Gaming or the Throwback channel.
Super sticker, or if you watch these videos on demand on YouTube, a super thanks on any video helps a ton, or a tip. You can find the tips link in the description of all of my videos and every stream. That would help a lot too. Consider maybe a Patreon pledge over at patreon.com/.
Well, we'll go over Patreon, Phil. We'll go over Patreon.
There's just so many ways that you can contribute and help. Hey, join YouTube Premium. Because if you join YouTube Premium and you watch any of my content, I get the
shilling,
credit as
Phil.
if you watched ads on my content.
You're chilling.
That's something you don't even actively have to do anything. You're just are part of it and watch content like you normally would, and it helps me out. All right. So any of those things are.
Remember, Phil puts ads on his content, so technically you're watching ads and then giving them the YouTube. So he's double dipping like usual, right? No surprise there.
Tremendous. I mean, here's honestly what I'm hoping. I'm really hoping this next week with the new releases, things pick up. That, you know, viewership, support, everything picks up. Because right now, if the month were to end today, I'd be pretty much in a way bad way next month. All right. So I'm hoping that things do pick up in the next week. And again,
that's nobody's fault but your own, Phil. Again, you don't have a job because you don't want to work. So your job, you don't use YouTube to subsidize your job. You put all your eggs in one basket. So what would happen with this scenario, with everything that's currently going on with these YouTube memberships? What would happen if, say, YouTube said, you know what, Phil, you cannot discriminate against foreign countries, and this is not an exploit. We're not going to demonetize your channel. What would Phil do if that fucking happened, right? Like, ask yourself that question. What would Phil do? How would Phil pay? He's going to call mommy and daddy and go, mommy, I need $5,000. He's done that before, so, you know, something to think about.
And this isn't anyone's fault. This is because of idiots using an exploit and screwing everything up for me. And I'm hoping that things will pick up again. If you were someone who normally would buy a membership, and you didn't because you were gifted one, please consider contributing in another way. All right? I got to keep things going around here. I got to keep the bills paid. And this is a problem right now, okay?
You got 2 big bills to pay.
All right. What I'd like to do now is talk about the solution that I found out in regards to DSP Reacts. Fair enough, because this is a good one. So for those, again, who might not know, I guess you've been living under a rock. DSP Reacts has been in a state of limbo ever since Sunday. Why? Well, because when I did my React show on Sunday, all right, this idiot troll who's been using a VPN and tons of fake accounts.
Oh, I see.
Came on to DSP Reacts during the React show and gifted like 400 fake memberships. Now, are they really fake? No, they're legit when it comes to the features you get, but they're not legit when it comes to revenue. I make nothing on them.
Okay, so that's a lie.
So again, I have to basically...
Let's talk about this here for a second. So that is a lie. Phil actually makes per membership about 4 cents. Okay, so any of the troll memberships are about 4 cents in revenue for Phil USD. Okay, it's 40 ARS Argentinian pesos. And that means currency exchange is about 0.49, so 5 cents minus 30% for YouTube's cut. Phil receives 40 cents per membership. Now you do the math, right? And I showed that to Anne here about you know what, let's bring that up. Let's bring this up. I sent Anne the pic. This is all, I calculated this all yesterday, and the currency exchange has not changed. It's exactly the same as it is today. Just bring up the mind's conversation. And here it is. Okay, so this is the total. This is what Phil is expecting, right? Phil was expecting 2,150 memberships. He was expecting $6,598.85. In fact, Phil is only getting $82.69 based on his membership. Okay? And I might be off on that because I think that's about that. Because I calculated I'm probably off by about $1. So we know that Phil is actually making money off these memberships still, just not the amount that Phil thinks he should be getting, right? And you know what, Phil? That's just the way it is. You have a member in your circle, Slayer, who actually has done this for years. And you should have known about it. Otherwise, he's scamming you too. So are you going to ban people from Singapore as well? Is that something that you're prepared to do? Right? Because it's not just people from like Argentina or like anywhere in Latin America. You have places like Turkey, you have places like India that all have this type of setup for YouTube. Not every currency, Phil, in the world is the exact same price. And that's something you know. You're supposed to be a valedictorian, although I'm pretty sure Linda sucks somebody's dick to get you that valedictorian claim there. So, like, come on, Phil, be realistic. You have to accept the fact that you are going to end up with these type of tips, right? And we'll talk about it when we get to that point.
Compare this to, like, imagine you're running a business, right? And it's a restaurant. And you have all your regular customers coming in, enjoying your food, rating it highly. Everyone loves it. And then you got some guy who comes in and says, I have the right to eat everything in your restaurant for free. And you're like, what? Yeah, and there's nothing you can do about it. And he walks in and he just grabs all the food and eats it.
I want to, because Phil uses this a lot, like the restaurant analogy. And with the restaurant analogy, it really doesn't work for you, Phil. You want to know why? Let's say I go to a restaurant. I don't have somebody coming up to me every 5 minutes and going, please tip me, 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 right? Or if I don't give you a certain amount of tips, that you are going to have to close up shop because you can't afford to pay rent or buy food or anything like that, right? Remember, that's the exact same analogy I'm using against you right now. Guys over here. Oh, shit. Okay, I saw that. That was my bad.
There's nothing you can't stop him, and he walks out the door. That's literally what's going on right now. Like, these people should not have the right to be purchasing memberships for less than a penny each. But they found a YouTube exploit, and YouTube has not fixed it. Okay?
Like less than a penny,
So
Phil? That's not true.
Could it put me out of business? No. But basically, this show, DSP versus the Internet, that I do every week, hinges on memberships. The way it works is, you become a member, and then members can nominate clips for the show, and we have a playlist of, like, 30, 40, 50, up to 100 clips that we've had before. I hit random, select, it shuffles the playlist, and we just watch them in random order, and that's the show. Now imagine overnight, you get from between 30 to 50 clips, and now you get 500 clips instead, right? Already I can tell you, it takes me about half an hour, 45 minutes just alone to make that playlist. Can you imagine if I had to do it 10 times?
I call exit out on that one. Like, it doesn't take very long to create a playlist on YouTube, right? Like, let's be honest, we've all done it, right? And again, this is Phil being Phil, right? Like, everything for Phil is work, right? Phil has to clip his nails. Well, that's at least 5 minutes to clip my nails and everything, right? Like, that's a lot of work. You should tip me. So, realistically, like, with these memberships that have been gifted. Now, there's something I found out earlier. Like, you can look this up as well. I'm not going to bring it up here. Phil can actually refund those memberships himself, right? Now, a lot of these memberships that are being sent to that channel, remember, a year ago when gifted memberships first became available, we had that member bomb by Team Ico Gamer. If nobody remembers that, right? That's who gifted all those member bombs. And we all know that saga, right? Phil had to disable 24-hour sub-only mode, right? That had to be turned off because there weren't enough people there to accept the gifted memberships. And then bots had to be used as well because Phil doesn't have the viewership to warrant this many members to begin with. You can even use the Throwback channel as a prime example, right? Last Sunday night, the Throwback channel had over 400 viewers on it, okay? How many of Phil's actual dents bought memberships? Phil admitted to this earlier this week. 10. So with 400 plus viewers on the Throwback channel, only 10 people, 10 legit Phil dents bought memberships? Right? Like, Phil, you say you get thousands of unique viewers a day. 1,000, 2,000 unique viewers a day. Getting only 10 members, Phil, drastically debunks that. Like, drastically debunks your theory here. Phil probably only has a legit viewership, probably of about 40 people. And out of those, I say he's probably got about 10 to 20 people that might pay. And out of those 10 to 20 people, 5 are the whales. You have your OIC, you have your Jax Raxer, you have your 1 minute cuck, you have Emil, who's probably under a sock again. You got Canadian Kirk, and Canadian Kirk is now under Sir Ed Sheeran III. That's Canadian Kirk, okay? For some reason, Phil doesn't know that, right? And Phil's threatened to ban him because he likes to talk about like NFL and shit like that. Like, imagine Phil's doing that Super Bowl marathon again. That has absolutely nothing to do with the NFL or the Super Bowl. So, like, he doesn't have the viewership to warrant any of this. So when Phil saying he's getting like 500 videos, it's probably unlikely. He's probably getting a little bit more based on trolls. Like, I would say maybe he's getting like 10 more videos submitted, right? But Phil can refund those members. He knows. You can bring it up in your dashboard. It's telling you who's a member and who's not. So you can refund those memberships, Phil. You can be like, yeah, that one doesn't count. You can do it by date, right? Say you got 300 memberships. We'll just take 300 people and subtract them from that date. It shows when they become members. But that's work, right? Again, that's work for Phil. He doesn't want to do work, right? He just wants to wake up at 10:30 in the morning, throw on some nice professional-looking shirts, still in his Zelda jammies, and beg for money all day long. Then he wants to eat, right? And if Kat doesn't get home, Phil's going to DoorDash, or he's going to DoorDash anyways. Because Phil ain't going to cook for himself. Kat has to cook for his gouty fucking ass. And then get back on and beg for money again, and then gin pull till 4 o'clock in the morning. That's what Phil wants to do. Phil does not want to improve Brunel Productions whatsoever.
I have 5 hours in a day to do that? No. And in addition, you know you're going to get a ton of troll submissions when most of these are gifted memberships, right? These are not positive, invested people. These are people who just handed a membership. Oh, now you have the ability to do this.
Phil, talk with the trolls then, okay? You know how much your channel would improve if you just had discourse with the trolls, right? Like Wings does or whatever they got that. Their popularity increases based on that. You're the only lol cow that just doesn't want to have any discourse with the trolls because, one, you can't debunk anything that the trolls have proven, right? And two, you're scared of confrontation. You're not a social butterfly. Watching the side scrollers thing, like, you have dry mouth because you can't talk because you can't keep up with the lies and everything, and it was fucking disgusting. Well,
that was definitely never the intention of the show, all right? In addition, it's not fair to those who paid full price. Again, imagine you're in a restaurant and you sit down to eat a crazy roasted turkey dinner, and you get charged $30 for that dinner, and then someone else sits down next to you and has the same exact roasted turkey dinner, and they're charged 1 penny for it.
What if I had a coupon filled out, gave me that 1 penny? There, your analogy is completely debunked. I walk into McDonald's, right? I have a coupon I got in the mail, right, for a quarter pounder, right, half price. Somebody else doesn't have that coupon. They don't get it for half price. They have to pay full price. That's not my problem. That's that person's problem. They didn't have the coupon.
Oh, well, that's just...
And don't kid yourself, Phil. Your dents are using this exploit too. 100%. And some of them have probably been using it for years. You're just catching on now because you got trolled by OIC and then all the detractors trolled the shit out of you. Well, I didn't. I'm not giving them any fucking money. I wouldn't even give them 1 cent.
Just how it works here. That doesn't make sense. What makes me want to come back and spend $30 for this turkey dinner if you can get it for a penny? That's not equivalent. That's not fair. And that's what's going to happen on DSP Reacts is if this continues where people get the ability to nominate the clips for free while they have to pay for it, they're not going to keep paying for it anymore, and the whole show's going to fall apart, right?
Show's already falling apart, Phil.
So, that being said, all right, I need to redesign the channel and the show. And we were talking about various ways to do it over the week. The thing is, initially it looked like I was going to have everyone cancel everything. Like every membership was going to have to be canceled. And I was going to have to create new membership tiers and do all this stuff to fix it. The good news is that's not the case. And I want to give a humongous shout out to Overpowered Boom. Last night he was researching YouTube.
Overpowered Boone is a fucking idiot, Phil, okay? Like, 100% fucking retard. The trackers already knew this, right? There was no reason why you had to delete the membership tiers. All you had to do was, one, change the price on the membership tier from $3.99 to $5.99. Then you could have created another tier that was for troll memberships and dropped down to 99 cents. You didn't do that because you knew you could make more money just by creating a new tier and moving everything up. Everybody else now is forced to pay $2 more. It's a way for you to scam, Phil. You get that extra $2 and hope to God that they don't remember that auto renew is on, and then it renews at $6 next month.
Memberships, and he found the solution, and I was like, this is perfect, and I can't believe I didn't know about this. There was no way I could have known about it, because the thing is, the only way you would have known about this solution is if you were a member of a channel.
No,
already
no.
You were a paying member.
No.
And you were messing around with membership levels, okay?
No.
So here's the solution. On YouTube, if you were already an existing member of any channel at any level and you want to upgrade to a higher level, YouTube gives you a prorated upgrade discount. I didn't know that at all, okay? So the way it works is,
it's
for
not
example,
prorated,
let's say
Phil.
you're
It
already
isn't
a member on DSP React at the $3.99 standard member level. Well, if I do a new level now, all you have to pay is the difference between the two. And then you get that next level for a month. I didn't know that, okay? So basically, instead of having to cancel standard memberships, cancel super memberships, make new member tiers, convince everyone to move from one tier to the other, and do this big process of moving that was going to be a nightmare, all I needed to do was make a new membership tier that was priced above $5.
No shit.
So that way it cannot be gifted out by the trolls.
Ready? Fuck.
And just tell everyone you have to be part of that group in order to nominate
Good
clips.
guy that was back here.
And that's it. So that's what I've done. As of this morning, I've created a new membership tier on DSP Reacts. It is called the Submissions tier. It costs $5.99 in order to become part of it. If you are already a standard member, like many of you are right now, because you either were already paying or you got a gifted membership in the last week, it costs you $2 to upgrade. That's it. $2. And you get the membership for the whole month. Okay? So a $2 upgrade gets you the ability to nominate clips for the show moving forward. And then that's for a whole month. So essentially, you as the viewer get a discount for the next month. Because normally it would be $4. Now you only have to pay $2. So you get a discount. How's that? That's crazy, right? The thing is, I'm going to take a hit. Because all those people that would have been paying $4 are now only going to be paying $2 for the next month. So I'm going to take like a 50% income hit on DSP Reacts for the next month, and there's nothing I can do about it. That's directly because of this idiot troll.
You're not taking
okay?
an income.
But what a better way to do this, because I don't have to cancel anything. So now that standard membership just stays. And all that standard membership is, you get emotes, you get a chat crown badge, you don't have to follow slow mode in the chat. That's your benefits at the standard level. If you join at the submissions level, which is $5.99 a month, now you get all that, plus you get to submit 2 clips a week. That'll go into the randomized playlist and the chance to be on DSP versus the internet. If you become the super member, which is $9.99 a month, you get all of that below, plus you get to submit questions for Q&A, and those will be answered live on the show every week. And then if you do the ultra member, which is $19.99 a month, you get to nominate 4 clips, 1 a week, and each one is guaranteed to be watched on the show. And
Okay, so not really. Why can't I move? 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 I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Fuck it.
that's how it's going to work moving forward. And Preem Sardine says, what stops
was
someone
a
from gifting the new
glitch. I
submission
couldn't move.
tier? You can't. It's impossible. You cannot gift at that tier. When gift tiers come in, they come in at whatever is $5 or less. So when people gift, they're only going to be gifting the standard tier. Because I priced it at $5.99, it is omitted from being gifted. That's how it works on YouTube. On Twitch, it's different. On Twitch, you can pick and gift the different tiers. You can't do that on YouTube. So because of that, this is safe from the trolling.
Not really, Phil. Not really. So basically what can happen here is two things, okay? So by doing these gifted memberships, Phil can end up, like, you can still gift these memberships. Now, what's going to happen with these gifted memberships? Right? Oh, I got stunned. Fuck. Shit. So, what's going to happen with these gifted memberships? So, you'll get a gifted member bomb, right? That eliminates anybody from getting that membership, right? Now, most of your dents don't want to buy memberships, Phil, right? Kagome admitted yesterday that she will never, ever she'll never purchase a membership. She always waits for a gifted membership. So she's not going to pay that extra $2, okay? Same as Darish, right? Darish will never pay for a membership unless he steals his mom's credit card again. Okay? So that's the only way Darish is going to get it. So he has to wait for gifted memberships. And the majority of people on Phil's channel do that, right? They wait for gifted memberships. They don't want to pay for these because they're worthless, right? The Reacts channel is dead. It's the worst fucking material that Phil does. It's the funniest, yes, because he's so out of touch with reality, but it's just the worst amount of material that he's ever done. Now, we look at like people that are actually going to buy these memberships. It's not going to be a lot of people. Phil relies on the React channel from gifted memberships to get those videos. The problem is I want to say about 98% of the videos are skipped, right? So imagine paying $19.99, right? Let's bring this up right here. So I'm on my VPN right now. So let me bring up the VPN. So right now I am set to Seattle, Washington, right? Right there. We're on to Seattle. So we can bring up Phil's memberships here. Here's Phil's membership tiers in USD. $3.99, $9.99, and $19.99. Now imagine, and this is for DSP Gaming. Let's bring up DSP Reacts. And we'll look at the new tier here. Don't want to hear you speak, Phil. Shut the fuck up. Okay, so here's your membership tiers, right? $3.99 standard membership. Submission tier, right? Phil has also gone back on his word about what he was going to do for the submission tier, that you were supposed to get, be able to ask Phil a question. Now, imagine having to pay to ask a content creator a question. That's fucked up to me, right? He's gone back on that. That's no longer included in that. You have to become a super member to do that, right? Now, with the Ultra membership, imagine paying $20 a month for Phil to watch 10 seconds or 15 seconds of your video and then skip it, right? Now, how bad does that look of Phil to charge you that amount of money and then skip your video, right? And this has happened about 3 times, I think, in the last year, where people have then called out Phil and or reported him for scamming it, right? And Phil lists nowhere on his channel that these videos are guaranteed to be watched. And Phil is saying right here, it's recorded, that your video is guaranteed to be watched. It's not guaranteed to be watched. It's guaranteed to be looked at for 10 to 15 seconds, and then Phil's probably going to skip it, right? Because Phil doesn't like it, doesn't understand what it's doing. If it's food or Phil's own content, or if it's a YouTuber or the Cannon Brothers or somebody from the FGC that Phil can slander, yeah, he'll spend a little bit more time on that video. So the memberships aren't really worth anything. What's going to stop a troll from purchasing an Ultra membership using Argentinian currency, submitting a video that's guaranteed to get watched? We know Phil has admitted that he doesn't watch any of these in advance, so you can create like a 3 to 4 minute video of Italian pizza, and then halfway through that video you can put a video of Darish tweets to porn stars in it, and then right in the middle of the fucking stream there comes up Darish video. It's like, hey Johnny Sins, you got a nice cock, right? Like, holy shit, Phil, right? Like, doing something like this, like the React channel was always going to be a disaster. And I know a lot of us detractors had spoken about, you know, this React channel isn't going to last very long. And over the, like, when it first appeared, yeah, it was big, right? It made it huge, but quickly within like the first 3 weeks, viewership completely dropped off, right? Phil's membership. Phil struggles to get members on that channel all the time, and those members were just dropping off and dropping off and dropping off. It's never made Phil that much money. And if you look at any other YouTuber that does reacts, none of them charge their viewership memberships to like give them a react to watch, right? You can just contact them, right? Let's bring up somebody here. Here's a person that does reacts. Sir Moist. Okay.
I was an extra in the Hunger Games.
Here's Sir Moist. He has $4.99 a month. That's it. Loyalty badges, custom emojis, exclusive gifts, right? That's it. He does reacts. People send him stuff to watch and shit like that. He doesn't charge his viewers to do reacts, Phil. You're like the only viewer that I know that charges people for anything. To ask you a question, right? Even though you have the Q&A prior, but you really don't read any questions that are sent by anybody that doesn't have a green or blue name, right? The only time that you're going to... Those people usually get banned, right? Because OIC will come on and be like that. Look here, like steak sandwich. Steak sandwich is a fucking is a troll sock, Phil. Ban him, and you'll turn around and you'll ban him, right? And that eliminates a revenue stream for you, right? OIC, like I've said, has always done more damage to you, Phil, than any detractor ever could. Okay? So keep the NordVPN up here. Let's get back to the video.
Does this start today? Someone asked. It's already live.
Ooh.
It's already live, and I've already posted up the threads by which you can post up clips for Sunday's DSP versus the internet. How about them apples?
Yeah, more scams.
And people already
more
have.
Scams.
People already have posted up their clips.
How many of these clips, Phil, are you going to skip? Right? Or are you just going to sit there? Phil, here, I'm going to show you guys a Phil reaction. This is me reacting right now. No. No. That's the react stream of Phil, right? He just sits there. He doesn't say jack shit, right? Unless he's annoyed with the video or whatever. This video is shit. I don't want to watch this anymore. Skip. Right? Most of the time, it's just Phil sitting there going, no. No. And he doesn't understand what the fuck is going on in the stream. That is Phil's react channel. That is how it operates. And then Phil is begging for money. Phil is begging for like people to become members and everything, right? Because he's not actually reacting, so a lot of his stuff is getting clipped or getting content struck right there, right? Like he's getting a copyright notice, right? Because he's not doing anything. He's not reacting. He's just playing it live on his channel, right? And that's not how react channels go, Phil. Like react channels is you actually have to react and add discourse to your reaction. Right? It's not just sit there and goat laugh every 10 seconds.
And people have posted up more. And I'm approving them right here.
He's approving them on the fly. He's not even proof watching them or anything, right?
Cool.
He's just approving them right there.
So there you have it, folks. We found the solution. Everything is set. We are good to go. All right, so I'm happy about this. I hope that you are too. Right? This is all good stuff. So, thank you all for being very, very patient. Okay? Very, very patient on this. Really, I appreciate that. And thank you all for listening. And thank you all for putting up with the nonsense, right? I'm very happy that you have. Sadly, you know, this was an annoying process for sure. And there was nothing I could really do about it. But as of now, we should be good. Okay? So thank you very much in advance, you know. Now, someone is already asking, would I ever change it again? We got to see what happens with YouTube. You know, this is all YouTube's fault.
YouTube's fault, Phil.
YouTube's fault for allowing this.
Yeah, no, it isn't.
Complacent and allowing it and not caring. Because people have known about this exploit for a while. It's only come to light on my channels in the last couple of weeks, but people have known about this on YouTube for like a year and a half. It's YouTube's fault. They got to fix it, and I can't make them. All right? If eventually they do fix it, right?
Well, they're not going to fix it.
Then maybe we could change it and have, like, the way I see it, no one's going to join at standard tier. The only people who are going to get standard tier are gifted, right? That's it. Who's going to join at standard tier just to get emotes? They want the ability to submit clips for the show, and you can't get that at standard tier.
But Phil, that is what DSP gaming is. You proud yourself on, like, we're saying that right here, right? Phil's like, at the beginning, he was like, you got to become a member, right? And this wasn't even on DSP Reacts, right? Like, memberships are like his bread and butter. He makes a lot of money, like, even though it's tips mostly, right? But memberships are greatly appreciated because they do add a lot of revenue. Now he's saying that they're pretty much useless, like the $3.99 tier, which it's still on DSP Gaming, it's still on DSP Throwback. That doesn't mean jack shit. Okay? All you get is emojis. Yeah, like, that's basically the default for every single fucking YouTuber out there, Phil, is that their tiers are basically based, their first tier is just emojis and everything. You're nothing special. Your channel offers nothing of value as for DSP Gaming or DSP Throwback. DSP Reacts, yes, because you're trying to scam people because you don't want to do your own type of lookup for reaction content. You want people to submit it so you don't have to do the work. That is the gist of DSP Reacts. It's just low effort.
So it's essentially just a crappy, useless tier. But it's there just because it's there, right? And I'm not going to delete it and then people lose their memberships that they were gifted and stuff. So,
that's what you were going to do.
Eventually I'd like
you
to go
legit
back
were going to do that.
The amount of levels we had.
And force them to repay.
So what can you do, right? What?
Well, this
People
one's
are
good.
now
This is
saying
good.
ridiculous things in the chat that don't even make sense, so I'm just
This is
going
good.
to
This is
good.
good.
What's stopping trolls from filling up gifted memberships so other viewers can't buy the new tier?
Yes.
What does that even mean? What you just said is complete nonsense. It doesn't exist.
Okay, let's go over this again, okay? What they're talking about is, let's say somebody gifts a membership, right? Like, let's say a 50 member bomb, right? So let's say somebody was ready to buy the $5.99 membership, okay? And instead they got a 50 member bomb from OIC again, right? They now have a membership that is worth $3.99. It just gets you the emojis and everything, and that's it. They now pay the $2 to up their membership, or they don't. They just see it as, well, I don't really need that. I got this standard membership. I really don't care. I'm not going to. I don't want to really give anything to Phil to watch, right? So that basically eliminates your revenue, Phil, because you're not going to get that $5.99 now. For those that do choose to do it, they're going to give you $2, right? Now, who's to say that those people are not going to use $2 in ARS? Holy shit, that came right through the fucking window. Fuck. See how much I suck at fucking Warzone? So, like, that it's still a risk for you, Phil, because these people that you may think are going to buy a membership are going to end up not buying a membership. And what about people that just want the emoji, right? That don't really care, that want to support you, but they're just going to buy that $3.99 membership. Now they're not going to get that $3.99 membership, right? Because they've been gifted it. And that's the problem that you have with these cheap member bombs. Phil doesn't have the viewership to warrant the memberships, right? Like, to warrant that. He doesn't have the viewers that can actually get those memberships. They just doesn't have enough. His channel isn't popular enough. It's not, doesn't have a lot of viewership to it. None of them do. So you do risk, Phil, a lot of shit as soon as I land. Fuck. So, like, yeah, Phil, it's a big risk for you because these gifted memberships can still fuck you over.
Anyway. Yeah. So, is he trying to bait me? There's no bait there. It doesn't even make sense what he said.
Makes perfect sense.
Right. If they really... He's misunderstanding it. Is that what it is? Oh, I can't. Oh, he thinks you can't upgrade? You can upgrade. Of course. Whatever. Anyway, so there you go, folks. Yeah. Thank you to anyone who put up with this in the last week. Please, if you were a supporter of that channel, please upgrade to the submissions tier. So we can get the show going. The more, I mean, already people are posting up clips, which is great, but now we have a situation where we need people to do the upgrade and start posting clips, because if people don't post clips for Sunday, the show's gonna suck.
But you
right?
just said people
Ultra
were.
members are exactly the same as always and can post up their clips easily, no problem, right? That hasn't changed. It's really the standard members now who have to become the submission tier for a $2 upgrade, and then they'll be able to do that. And basically, they're getting a discount for a month, right? Which is crazy. So, yes, please do that. Thank you for being paid. I am so happy, really. I am so happy that I did not jump the gun and cancel membership tiers like I said I was going to. Because number one, that would have just caused mass confusion. People would have been upset that...
And again, he was ready to do that, right? And I compared this to the copyright strike saga from years back and last year when he challenged the fucking Wings trolls, right? He just jumped the gun and deleted all those videos, killing the analytics of his channel. And then he was going to do the exact same thing with DSP Reacts. Like, his first order of thing is just delete everything. Delete it all, right? Not actually just... Okay, breathe. Okay, what should I do? I know. I'll just create a new tier and keep the other one exactly the same, and then just change it so that it's not a submission tier. Yeah. It's what you fucking should have done. Everybody, the detractors were just laughing the last 3 days because it was just so fucking stupid what he was going to do.
That they paid for a membership that doesn't exist anymore. And also, the whole Q&A thing, right? The whole Q&A thing, hopefully that's not a big deal either, right?
Yeah, because you lied.
And
remember, he said that he was going to up the price to $5.99 and that they were going to be able to ask questions with that $5.99 tier. Now that's not going to happen. If you want to ask Phil a question and submit a video, you have to pay $10. Imagine that. Imagine having to pay something to ask a YouTuber a question. For me, fuck, you could just email me, you could hit me up with a DM, you could ask me in the comment section. Sometimes I take a long time to get back because I'm just busy. Like, life has been pretty shit, and if you were on the bingo stream, you know why.
Now it stays the same. Yeah, see, people are saying is, well, what if gifted members upgrade for $2? Yeah, they could do that. And then the next month it's $6. See? It's not $2 forever. It's $2 for the upgrade. And then next month when it recurs, it's $6. So essentially for 1 month, I'm going to kind of be screwed if people decide to upgrade. I'm going to lose money. I'm going to make half as much because normally it's $4 per membership. Now I'm only going to get $2. So my revenue for DSP Reacts is going to dip like this for this month. And there's nothing I can do about that. But once it goes to the renewal, there you go. Now it's back to, it's $6 to keep it going. So there you go.
Okay. Riddle me this, Batman. What would stop Dent from waiting each month to get a gifted membership in for the cheapo for free, right? That's picked by OIC or any other detractor troll out there, right? And each month, and then just waiting each time and then just doing that $2, right? Why would they pay the $6 when they can just wait for a gifted membership and pay $2? Right? You're not thinking this through, Phil, right? If I were going to fuck with Phil like this, right? Like, say I was going to fuck with Phil for submissions. That's exactly what I'd do. I'd wait till my membership expired, wait for gifted membership bomb, get that gifted membership bomb, then log in with my VPN, pay the $2 extra, which is not even going to be $2 extra. It's going to be like, what's $2 in ARS? 2 cents. That's going to be 2 cents, Phil. So now you're back to the exact same problem. You're not getting any revenue based on your $5.99 membership tier, and the trolls are submitting videos. right? How does that stop, right? Again, remember, the suggestion was made just basically to not tip Phil and call him a piggy or anything like that. Fuck with him based on this method, right? And I'm not saying to do it, right? And for me, this whole troll saga thing, this membership saga, has run its course. It was funny for about 3 days, and then after that, it was just sad. Like, remember, you're still giving Phil $82, 83 bucks. Let's say 83 bucks, 84 bucks. That's what you're still giving Phil American, right? Now, Phil can go get his hair cut. He can get his beard dyed like he always does. His hair dyed, and he does. Remember, Phil doesn't dye his own hair. He gets twirls and curls to do it, right? This can be a Bahama Breeze date for him and Kat, right? This would be a couple bottles of gin. So you're still giving Phil money. And detractors always say, do not give Phil money. Don't give Phil money.
Oh yeah, to be clear, nothing is changing with memberships on this channel. Nothing will change with Throwback channel. Everything's the same. I'm not going to bother changing anything on these channels because, again, nothing was ever based on memberships on this.
You said it was. At the beginning here, you said it was that memberships made you a lot of money. And now you're telling your viewers that they're completely worthless.
Channel or on the Throwback channel. We got rid of the member goals for events a long time ago. And, there's no show.
Yeah, because it was scamming, Phil. You were scamming. And the Dents knew you were scamming with the member goals. Now the member goals are gone again. Because you can't stop the trolling. Even though you are making more money, you're lying about the money you're making because you don't want the Dents to know that you're still making money. And that is the scam now, is that you are making money, you're just not making the money that you want to make.
Where you can buy into the show by being a member here. I'm actually very happy I never did it. You know, a lot of YouTubers do that. Tons of YouTubers have their revenue and all their content based off memberships. Can you imagine if I did? And
you did. Memberships are a massive portion of your YouTube income, Phil. It's not super chats. You make, what was it, 584? Let's hold on a second. So 584 members. That's what he had prior to the bomb. Okay, so times 3.99 equals divided by 1.30, which is 30% YouTube's cut. Phil makes per month $1,792.43 on memberships alone on DSP Gaming. That's hard fact. That's a hard fact. That's how much Phil makes. Now, on the Throwback channel, let's say he's got the 10, right? Times 3.99 equals divided by 1.30. So he's only going to make 30 bucks on the Throwback channel, $30.70 on the Throwback channel, right? Because only 10 members were on there. And then based on who's a member, right? And now this is just based on, say, $3.99. Some of those aren't even $3.99. Some of those are like $19.99. Some of those are like 7 times more. Right? So Phil's making a huge chunk of change on memberships. And now he's saying that he doesn't make anything on memberships. So what's going to happen? Phil's going to kill his memberships on his fucking DSP Gaming channel and on the Throwback channel. And that's going to be a huge chunk of revenue that he's going to lose. And then he's going to blame it on everybody else. Again, this is a business owner that doesn't know how to operate his business.
And then this exploit was found, it might destroy my whole business. So I'm very happy that I didn't do that. I swear,
Phil, a Dent did this. OIC did this. I don't know why you can't see it, right? Well, no, OIC bucks blind you, right? That's 100% given, right? Like, OIC bucks blind Phil, right? Regardless of how much OIC trolls Phil, OIC still gives Phil a big chunk of money. And Phil can't let that slide, right? Because that will hurt the gin, that'll hurt the Hogan polls, that'll fuck Phil over.
Get lucky as shit all the time. This is a situation where for some reason I didn't really base a lot off of membership, and my God, did it save my ass right now. Because could you imagine if most of my income was memberships, and then this happened? Like, I'd be completely assed out right now.
Should've probably
so
done a
again,
shoddy.
I'm kind of lucky in this regard, okay? Okay. So real quick, I'm gonna run downstairs and put my wallet back because I don't want to forget and leave it in here. And I want to tell my wife about Tekken, that we can play it tomorrow. That's gonna be cool. And then we got news to do. We got a quick. Oh God, it's already 12:15.
Yeah, you only got up. Yeah, you only got up like 2 hours ago.
I guess we're not doing news today. I had a bunch of news stories saved up, but I guess we can't do them. All right, I'll be right back.
I got the drip going. I got the drip going.
Oh, right. Thank you, Snort Hogan, for that, man. That's a big plus, so I don't have to give fucking Phil a fucking view. Okay, so let's discuss the scenarios once again, right? Phil is adding a new tier for $5.99. He's changing the $3.99 tier. You won't be able to submit anything. All you get is fucking bullshit, bullshit emojis that don't mean much, right? Big fucking deal. None of us care. Whatever. The new membership on DSP Reacts is $5.99, right? Now, you don't get to ask a question like Phil had originally planned. All you get is submission, right? And that's a guaranteed skip. So you're going to give Phil money, and then he's going to skip your video. Good job. Keep up the good work, Dents. For $9.99, you get to submit a video and ask a question, right? Like, again, that's another scam, right? Like, asking questions. Paying a YouTuber to ask them a question. Fuck me, that's so stupid. But again, it's Phil Burnell, right? Oh, shit. Let's send him, let's send him. Why am I not hitting? There we go. Fuck. Maybe I should be playing Resurgence instead, huh? Okay. Oh. So, like, the memberships, again, don't mean anything. And it's all a scam, right? Because you're just going to be giving Phil money, and he's going to be skipping... He's going to be skipping your content over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Right? That's what he does on DSP Reacts. DSP Gaming and DSP Throwback, the memberships don't mean jack shit. You're not going to get...
Literally, no one bugs them anymore. Nothing. It's all, they're completely washed. The cans are clean. You have no respect.
We're going to send him. We're going to send him. Fuck him. Fuck him. We're going to send him.
People that are dead. You don't give a shit about anybody but yourself.
What? What? And he's still running by. He's still running by. What the fuck is going on? Let's go. Where do you go?
John starts getting text messages at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. That means it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. So now...
Oh. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh, and he executed me too, fucker. Take a quick drink here. So, in reality, all Phil's doing is he's jacking up the price and hoping dents are going to fall for it. Now, the problem is with the gifted memberships are still going to occur, although I would really wish that a lot of people maybe curtailed it a little bit because... Shit. Damn it. Because you're still giving Phil money, but all that's going to happen is the dents are then going to wait for the gifted membership, then use the $2 upcharge, and then that's never going to stop, right? It's still going to occur. Some trolls will more than likely use this method to even get higher tier memberships, then fuck with Phil with video submissions, right? That's the other option that's going to happen. And I know people are saying, like, oh, you're telling Phil what we're going to do. It's going to happen regardless, right? And Phil's too stupid not to do anything about it, right? Or to do anything about it, I should say. This is going to continue to occur, right? This isn't going to stop. Regardless of how much Phil thinks it's going to stop, it just isn't, okay? And I know, like, Jad and I said, it's run its course. It was funny. Now it's just kind of sad, right, to watch this go on. Yes, trolls are going to fuck with Phil. Yes, detractors are going to fuck with Phil. That's the nature of the beast. But the thing is, the main thing for me is that Phil is lying and Phil is discriminating against foreign countries, right? Because Phil's first thing when this first happened was, I'm just going to ban anybody that is from Argentina. I'm going to ban anybody that's from foreign currency. Now, we can look at this. Like, I wanted to see what would happen. So I had set the VPN down to Argentina. Okay, so let's set to Argentina really quick. That's good. I'm just going to quit the desktop here because it's going to fuck everything up here. So with it set to Argentina, we are going to know now that... Exit out there. Okay, so we're now on Argentina. So we know... We can bring up Phil's YouTube channel here. So these are the new prices with the troll memberships. Okay, so you have 40 ARS, 100 ARS, 400 ARS, and 800 ARS. These are going to be the new memberships, right? We can bring up a currency converter really quick. See, converter, Argentinian pesos, perfectly set. So 100. So the $5.99 membership is only 12 cents in Argentinian pesos, right? So again, people can gift somebody a membership, right? That's going to end up being 5, or just do a gifted membership bomb, right? 40 ARS. Here, so that's 0.049, so that's 5 cents minus the 30% from YouTube, right? $2 on top of that. So what's $2 in Argentinian pesos? We said that was going to be, right? Yeah, so that's what Phil's going to end up. That's what these people will have to pay to upgrade, right? And the dents are going to do it, right? Like, not all dents are fully retarded. Some of them are semi-retarded, right? So they're going to end up, and I'm sorry for using that language, but it's true, right? Like Phil does cater to people that are not very high IQ, right? Like, they're support Phil. There's something wrong in your head. So a lot of the dents can use this method, right? Let's look at Phil's Patreon, right? So this is the Patreon levels. Now with Patreon, I've created a user here. Right? Now, Patreon, I don't think changes. No, it doesn't. So it stays in American funds. So you can only pay in American funds. So Slayer isn't scamming Phil through here, but he is scamming Phil Singapore. I don't even know if Singapore has access to a VPN. He feels a valedictorian. He doesn't know his geography. I do. I was never a valedictorian. So this doesn't change the price on Patreon, right? So you still have to pay $50 American in USD, right? So this won't affect the Singapore price, but it does affect it here, right? So Singapore, $5 a month in SGD. Bring it up here. We'll show Phil exactly how much Slayer is fucking him over. Come on.
Obviously, I need tips.
It's not changing.
This is where my fucking money goes to, everyone. Shout out to the trolls. For those who contributed, thank you. It would be great if we get a few more tips. To make up, earlier today, we did not hit the hat goal either. It's been a very slow day. It would be great if we pick it up a little bit with maybe some contributions side with tips.
Not changing.
If you can.
Refresh.
You know, I know some people are super chatting or whatever. That helps long term, but right now I really can help. Tomorrow's my day off.
My VPN blocked it because of... Holy shit. So I've got NordVPN on and it's blocking... There we go. So Slayer is... Basically, he's giving Phil $3.73, and then minus YouTube's cut. So Phil's only getting $2.87 American for Slayer's membership per month. So Slayer is getting off basically by about 50 cents. So each month, for however many years, Slayer has scammed Phil. And of course, Phil's going to be okay with that, right? Because he can't damage Slayer, right? Like that. Slayer. That's like the second Darish almost, right? Or is that Dan the Man? Probably Dan the Man, because Dan the Man's the fucking PDF file sex offender or whatever, right? Like that's Dan the Man. Then there's Darish. Then there's Slayer. That's how that goes. So let's just hash this up. Is Phil losing revenue? Probably not, because again, Phil doesn't have the viewers that are able to actually accept the memberships. A lot of these membership bombs are being refunded. Phil can refund these on his own as well, right? That's something fribble. That's going to be extra work. Phil changing the membership tiers on DSP Reacts isn't going to help on DSP Reacts, because the dents are just going to wait for a gifted member bomb and then either pay the $2 or use the VPN method, because those dents, a lot of those dents don't have a lot of money unless they're the whales, right? That do. So this is still going to hurt Phil, I feel. I don't think it's going to really have like a massive impact on his revenue stream at all. That's basically like memberships. We did prove memberships are a big contribution to his YouTube pay, right? That's probably where the majority outside of super chats come from, if not more than super chats. He probably makes more in super chats. Yeah, he probably makes more in super chats than he does in memberships. Maybe equal. I don't know. I look at the tips tracker, but that's basically what it's going to come down to for Phil. It's just about the money. Phil doesn't care about the content. He doesn't care about what his viewers are getting. If he did, this wouldn't be a big deal for him. And any other YouTuber, like I said, you look at other YouTubers, they don't give a shit where the money comes from. It's always, thanks for the membership, thanks for the membership, thanks for the super chat, thanks for the tip, right? That's every other YouTuber. Phil is basically the only one where you get the complaints, the constant revenue calls, right? About how bad DSP gaming is doing. Phil needs to pay 2 big bills. Phil, like his revenue has dropped this month. He really needs tips. Like tips is going to help this time. No other YouTuber, even Lolcow, maybe outside of Boogie, really does this to this extent every day. Every single day, twice a day, multiple times a stream, right? So, dents. I want to talk to the dents here. Do not give Phil money. Phil will not. If you were doing this, like let's look at the Redemption Games, right? You guys know who the Redemption Games is, right? Right? That fucking dent, the super dent. Has Phil become a member of his channel? Has Phil tipped him? Has Phil given him any money? No. Phil's not going to do that for you guys. Okay? All Phil wants is to basically wake up at 10:30 in the morning. Remember, this is a man that makes over $130,000 a year. This is factual evidence. To use coin a Phil phrase. This is factual evidence. This is proven. The tips tracker is real. It's a real thing. Phil makes over $130K a year. He lives in a gated community. Right? And all he does is he begs for money. He doesn't produce anything of any value, right? Like, people who say to Phil that, oh, your streams mean so much to me, that really doesn't happen. That's mostly Phil writing those emails to himself, because they always sound like the way Phil would talk. It's always fucked up. So that's basically the gist of it. It's money for Phil. Phil's pissed because Phil wants this. Right? This is what Phil wants. Phil doesn't care if you're from Argentina or Azerbaijan or Singapore or Canada. He wants to make sure that he's getting that $3.99 USD regardless of where you are in the world, regardless of your economic status, right? So, again, dents, don't give him money. Okay? Don't give him memberships. Don't buy him anything. Don't donate anything to him. Phil needs to do this himself. He's an irresponsible 41-year-old man. I'm the same age as Phil. I'm 41 years old. I have a full-time job. I look after my elderly parents, right? I have had a lot of bad stuff happen to me recently. Not to me, but again, my father got really sick, right? And I'm having to look after him and my mother, and things got really bad, right? And I'm trying to fight my way out of it. It's very difficult for me. I don't have any help from my brother. My cousins and everything have been helping out, which has been awesome. My aunt and uncles have been helping out, which is awesome. People from work have been helping out, which is awesome. So, things are tough. Then I gotta put up with a fucking loser like Phil Brunel, who just sits here every day, begs for money, and gets everything given to him for absolutely no work whatsoever. Think about that, right? Like, you're a dent. You live in a third world country, right? I mean, a third world, right? Like, say you live in somewhere like Singapore, right? You're Slayer. You're finding life is difficult, yet you're giving Phil money, and he's sitting in a gated community and blaming everybody for his problems, and you're falling for that. The pignosis is real. It's a real thing, right? And this is the cult speak, where Phil always says, we, right? Sound like a little piggy. We. There is no we in Phil's community. There's just Phil. That's all there is. Phil and the money. So dense. Oh, don't give him money. Trolls, don't do the member bombs anymore. Like, it was funny, yeah. It was funny. Like, a lot of us got our laughs and everything about that. You're still giving Phil money. Right? You still making $82 to $84 this month off of those troll tips. Right? He's gonna get his hair dyed. He's gonna go get that Hitler cut. Right? That he loves so much. Again, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank everybody for all those well wishes and everything that I got sent to me here. Again, I want to apologize to King Jad and the bingo crew and the detractor community for my spur goat yesterday. I love being a part of this community, and fuck Phil. He's just nothing but a disgusting fucking loser. Okay? Thanks again, guys. We'll catch you all in the next one.